Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, April 2024, as I call it, the most important month this year. The month starts, of course, with Mercury retrograde, but the pivotal event, one of the pivotal events, is the eclipse in your third house. The solar eclipse is the second eclipse. They always come in pairs. The first one is in March, at the end of March in your ninth house, but you'll feel it for the next 3 months. The second one, 8th of April, the bigger eclipse, the solar eclipse in your third house. These eclipses show the changes that are coming for you this whole year. It's not just for April the 8th, you might have felt it even a few weeks before that or a month. And there is this, wherever eclipses happen, there is earthquake, let's say, on Earth as well. Earthquakes happen around eclipses. But the earthquake in your soul is happening on the axis of the third and ninth houses. So there is a big shift in your consciousness. This is the axis of consciousness. The lower everyday mind, as we call it, your self-narrative, how you talk to others, how you talk to yourself, and your higher mind, also the house of God. The higher mind is, is your higher self, is aspect of God, and how you connect to the higher worlds. So this is where the biggest shift is happening. This is where the biggest earthquake is happening. You might notice something almost like and remember, there won't be eclipses in Aries in your third house with the North Node for another 19 years. So it's a rare opportunity, something to shift in your perspective, how you talk to yourself. I already just a month or two before the eclipse started doing affirmations. Third house is words where the eclipse is happening. How you talk to yourself, how you talk in your mind, how you talk to others. And I really transformed, because eclipses are about transformation, shedding of the old skin. Of course, eclipses are caused by a dragon in mythology that eats the sun or the moon. And a dragon, a snake, it sheds its skin. So the biggest meanings of eclipses, an internal earthquake that leads to changing of the skin, renewing yourself. And for me, it's already been working. I'm sure there is more to come on this axis, but I rewrote as an Aquarius rising how I talk to myself with affirmations. It was very hard the first couple of weeks. And now when I have nothing to do, I'm washing plates, I'm showering, whatever. I choose 2-3 affirmations. I don't even have to feel them. I'm just talking to me in this positive way with those affirmations. I'm an athlete or whatever. I'm healthy. I'm enough. I forgive, love, and accept myself. I'm free from the desire for sugar. Whatever. Choose 2-3. Honestly, I've tried it before. It hasn't worked, but this time it did, because this eclipse axis is opening it for you. How you talk to yourself, how you talk to others. There will be a shift in your mind, in your lower and higher mind, Aquarius. So this is where the biggest change is happening. And it can feel like an eclipse of the mind for a little bit. The mind, at certain point, already March, April, you can feel like, oh, I'm losing my mind, because the sun, the light is eclipsed from there. But the light is eclipsed, so a new face can show, a new light can come after that. And Aries is about renewal, new energy, new way of thinking, new way of talking to others, new way of communicating. Shift of perspective, of consciousness, of a higher mind, letting go old beliefs. And during a month before this eclipse in the ninth house, I started letting go, because the ninth house eclipse is about letting go. The third house eclipse is about putting in something new there, because this one was a full moon eclipse with South Node. So you can let go, and you're letting go of some old held beliefs and programs. This is how we're programmed from society, from culture, from religion, from propaganda, news. And I started saying, I'm canceling the program of this and this. It's such simple affirmations, and I don't even need to feel them, and it's working. And I'm like, why is it working this time? Because this access is open for us. When there is eclipses thin the veil between the visible and invisible world and make manifestation easier. And if you align your mind to lower thoughts, to thoughts of desire, to thoughts of addiction, to thoughts of enviness, to thoughts of anger, or down talking on yourself, you detract from the lower astral, because those around eclipses, it's open, even in ancient times, People said, oh, don't go out during eclipses because all kinds of devils roam around. But also there is an opening from the higher realms. So your vibration needs to be in place so you can attract more of the higher realms. And now you're rewriting your mind. And if you notice yourself, you're having fearful thoughts or fears about the future, ninth house, or self-doubts and how you talk to yourself, immediately start substituting with something new, with new thoughts, new, and deprogram. I'm deleting the program of, we're using this eclipse in the ninth house, I'm deleting the program of, you say it, whatever it is for you, for low self-worth. I'm deleting the program that starting my business will be hard, or whatever. Whatever you want. I'm deleting the program that having relationships is hard work, and so on, because these are all programs that we work through, and you're instilling a new program here consciously by repetition. Third house is about repetition. Another way it can play out this eclipse is there is some shakeup in your relationships with siblings, with some big change happening there, with teammates, workmates. Maybe if you work in a team, there can be some big changes. Maybe and this eclipse is about new things. So maybe new people will enter your life over the next 1 year. New collaborators, associates, third house is connected to such people. New people in a team, maybe your work team will, work team, whatever, will change and you'll get new associates to collaborate with. Or maybe you learn third house's new skills. Suddenly, if you've had resistance to learning certain skills, this eclipse can make you enthusiastic over the next 1 year, not necessarily immediately, to learn some new skills. What is it? Maybe you want to learn French. Maybe you want to learn how to code, how to train AI for something. The fear goes, initially there is fear because it's an eclipse, but the passion of Aries that this eclipse unlocks is life-giving. So you can learn, it can be a sign omen for you. Yes, eclipse on the mind, but there is a big transformation happening in your mind, and you learn to be more courageous, to take initiatives. Third house is the house of initiative. This eclipse is asking you to take some initiative, to talk in a different way. And it's asking you as well to use your communication and your words and what you read and watch. Third house is everything: input information, output information. This is, this is your computer here. What are you watching? What are you outputting? Are you filling your head with negative thoughts? Are you, so what are you consuming there in your mind, and what you're getting out? You're renewing that. You're changing that. And because the eclipse is happening with Chiron, conjunct Chiron, there is a great healing opportunity. Chiron is the wounded healer. What wounded thoughts do you have? And that you can transform, and you can heal a big part even of physical conditions that are due to negative thinking or to negative self-talk or to what you're putting in your mind. If you're watching a lot of superficial things that are wasting your time, or things that are negative, things that are showing the depravity of others, how do you expect this to be healing? But Chiron, the conjunction with the eclipse, can make you have a realization there and be very vigilant, and not vigilant, but almost like enthusiastic to remove the input and to change the output. Also, your social environment around you can change. There can be some very fated trips that are happening for you over the next 1 year as well as the third house. Maybe learning something new that can create self-made wealth for you. A new business plan, business idea, new skill that will improve your self-made wealth in some way, because it's gaining something here. The North Node eclipse, North Node is to gain something. Maybe some friends or mates will enter your life that will be there for a long time. But there might be some crisis around such matters as well. Of course, it's an eclipse. Siblings, relatives, people in your environment, cars, credit cards is the third house, cars, transportation. Just around the time of the eclipse, avoid if you can travel, but if it's unavoidable, or it's on the 8th of April. So yeah, this is, what else can this third house do? Maybe new beginning with you said way of thinking, maybe travels that will be important for you short term and whatever, new communications of any sorts, new information, learning, knowledge, and so on. Then the other big event that is happening is that Saturn and Mars are joining together in your second house from ascendant or sun or moon, and they're starting a new cycle for 2 years. They're joining together on the 10th of April, but their influence they'll start something. Maybe it's already starting because they're close. They'll start something that you'd be working on for 2 years. And Saturn and Mars are very much about hard work that you put yourself. Saturn is your own efforts and your own perseverance and being very meticulous and deliberate about things. And we're talking about money here and values because it's your second house. And Mars wants you to have willpower. So Saturn and Mars will help you build those qualities over the next 2 years when it comes to resources, to money, to your self-worth. So it can even involve some kind of a re-evaluation of how you spend, of what you consider valuable, of what you consider beautiful, what you consider tasty. And it can be the start of a process that you really change the second house. Second house is the five senses. So you might be required to work very hard on finances, for example, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to come like an inspiration, sudden change, with effort. On money, saving, maybe you decide to start to buy property or something, and we'll talk why it's possible for this, or to settle down and you need to save, so you need to learn the hard way, Saturn Mars, through willpower, through your own personal involvement, how to manage your resources, and that's a 2-year thing. And after that, you have a lot more resilience, a lot more masterfulness, mastership over matters of resources, property. And Saturn and Mars are non-apologetic. You can get rid of possessions as well. Just throw out. Saturn and Mars don't like clutter. Second house is your possessions. Just remove clutter. It's gonna be very good for this first 10 days of April, or the whole April at some time, if you can declutter, clean everything that is blocking the energy of abundance. Second house is money. Second house is how you're supported. Just clean it up, remove it. And Saturn and Mars, they both like simplicity. They both like kind of elegance. Saturn likes elegance. Mars likes not too much fluffy stuff. Imagine a soldier with fluffy stuff and too many things, So that can be the beginning of the healing process, and this process of you building more streamlined, elegant approach to possessions, to resources. Another way it can play out is you can totally change over those 2 years, starting now, how you eat. Second house is the food we get. It will require ability to say no, which is Saturn. It will require some self-restraint, Saturn, but you have the willpower of Mars to do that, and the soldier-like focus of Mars. So you can really, we started fasting with my husband now. I'm not depriving myself of food, but it's just vegan food. And it's surprisingly easy for me, because Saturn and Mars are really, usually I try and I don't have the motivation, which is Mars. I don't have the staying power, Saturn. This time has been every day I cook, and second house is to cook food. So you can embark on a 2-year thing of learning to cook. It's not an easy thing, but it is, Saturn Mars can really you're most satisfied with the results of Saturn and Mars if you put the efforts, because it comes to you through efforts. And but of course there might be some financial issues for some of you, not for everyone. People that already are using Saturnian qualities of management, of discrimination, of good organization, and Mars are ones of initiative. When it comes to finances, resources, they can just embark on a new project that makes them a lot of money, that they'll be working through 2 years. The results might not be immediate, but they'll be working hard on something that will bring them really lasting results of money, and with effort. It's not going to be just oh, I'm launching it and it's making me money from. It's constantly, You're putting your energy there. Plus, the third house eclipse is helping you be open to learning new things and how to do new things, you know. The second house might be some extensive work with teeth. I hope you're not embarking on. I've gone like 9 times to the dentist, and Saturn and Mars have been close together in the last 2 weeks. It's on one tooth only. But yeah, it's hard work as well. But you can do some of this. Second house is your tastes, your okay. Oof, I don't want to spend too much on the second house. But second house is also family. And just like the fourth house is family, and you'll see the other new conjunction is happening there, so there is big focus there. Family values, traditions, maybe some of you might want to preserve and reconstruct or get in touch with some family, their own personal family traditions, second houses. You know, the stories, the values there, they might be focused as well. All right, so Saturn and Mars, imagine Saturn is master builder, Mars is the muscle. You have those together, what can you achieve there in anything to do with possessions, with resources, with the master builder in self-worth, how you appraise yourself? It's the face as well, the second house. Some of you might start some, you know, Saturn is to Titan, to Mars is to do exercise, facial yoga exercises. This really work. I've been doing for a few weeks only in this thing. You do something like that and this goes away. So yeah, you work with the second house, whether it's with your teeth, with your face, but you do the hard work. You don't just go to, you know, someone to do it for you. You do the hard work and you get the best results over 2 years. Okay. Of course, money, very important. And family, there might be some stresses here with family. There might be some expenses that come, but they will trigger off this process of developing the Saturn-Mars quality. Now, the other big event, let's go to very positive energies, the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. It's never going to happen again in your life. It's happening on the 20th of April, but it's already in action since the beginning of the year because they've been close enough. And it will continue almost the whole year because they will be close enough the whole year. So this year, not specifically just the 20th, it's the peak then, around that time, but this whole year there is powerful new beginning, new birth in this fourth house of yours. And that is on your soul level. And that is how you feel about life. This is your base vibration of happiness or discontent. You know, everyone has like a certain level that they very rarely shift away from. It's, for someone, it might be constant meh feeling. And sometimes you go up and down when something interesting happens. For others, it might be constant uplifted. These are emotionally healthy people usually. For others, it might be constant base of drabness, you know. But this is your constant main vibration. It comes from the root, from the family, from the early childhood, which is the fourth house. The vibration, your soul vibration, I would call it. And Jupiter and Uranus here is saying, you have a once in a life chance. This conjunction will not repeat again in your life. To really shift and quite fast your main vibration, emotional vibration. To really break and cut away with the past, because the fourth house rules your karma from the family, the ancestors. You know how we get born in families that repeat our own personal karma. So maybe if you have depressive influences, your grandmother was also depressive and whatever. And they say when you heal yourself, you heal the ancestors. Well, here it's almost like a divine blessing that there is opportunity now to shift your main vibration, emotional vibration, which means that you're disconnecting from the family patterns, if there was some traumas with mother, ancestors, father, if there's some repeat patterns there, they all got divorced, or they all get diabetes, or they all are poor, or whatever, they all have something repeating there. You have to look what it is. You know, for some is alcoholism in the family, for others, everyone is divorced. Well, you know what? Such a rare opportunity, Jupiter and Uranus, to cut this connection. And it's happening in the constellation Kritika, this conjunction, which is a knife. and it critica means challenge and a knife. You cut a challenge with a knife. You deal with it like bam. So sudden raise in the vibration psychologically, sudden realization if you work with a psychologist, sudden psychological healing, sudden realizations about your childhood, and forgiveness. Jupiter is forgiveness and quickly raising your vibration, Uranus. And the external, how it can manifest, is that there is a whole renewal in your personal life. It can indicate the beginning of motherhood for some. Fourth house, becoming a parent, because this higher vibration, it can open the opportunity for you for parenting, for improving yourself as a parent, for joy that it keeps giving for the next 14 years till the next Jupiter cycle, or source of abundance that becomes your family and family life, or anything to do with real estate can become a source of abundance and wealth, because they're happening in Taurus, sign of money. Jupiter and Uranus indicate some abundance. So something that is starting to develop this year can be a source of giving abundance, Jupiter, for many years ahead, a whole cycle. So it can be motherhood, it can be real estate, it can be you can find a piece of land that makes you feel abundant and that makes you feel inspired that you are working it, or you might find the perfect house. You might find the perfect place to live in that you feel at home. Some of you might have found it already, others, it's just like finding where you belong, finding where your soul feels the best, building, feeling, raising your overall vibration. It can be making money from a real estate, or just blessings and wealth. Wealth is not always material. Wealth through emotion, through bonding, through creating a family, through family members, or through someone, loved close one, starting a family, making a house, wealth through real estate, psychological liberation. Jupiter and Uranus is freedom, being liberated. Jupiter and Uranus is like, inspirational moment, feeling, I know where I belong, or this is home, or this is where my soul is at home. You're my home. You or this place. So they might be, or even if you start something with real estate, it might be a great source of freedom and abundance for you. Something with fourth house can be nurturing, caring, professions, can be professions connected to fishing, to, I'm trying to think of more modern variations for the fourth house, except the fishing and sailing and shipping. Wealth from the earth as well, or from family, and so on. So and as I said, maybe you might have to be more with your finances, to be more controlled, because maybe you find the right place, you're investing into your family, or some idea connected to the fourth house, which can be hotels, real estate, B&B, and so on. But there is deep psychological realizations that are happening, deep psychological freedom from patterns, ancestral patterns. And it's like your soul is being renewed, your sense of, and a new role might come to you, fourth house role of nurturer, carer, and so on. And of course, don't forget, Pluto is in your sign. So life is, for the next 20 years, so if you're early born Aquarius in particular, you'd feel it. Life will never be the same. Pluto will transform you totally. You're transforming yourself, but Pluto is turning your life around. It's giving you strength, emotional resilience, incredible emotional resilience and strength. To be authentic, to be yourself, not to put on masks with different people. Pluto just hates bullshit. Pluto hates superficiality, fakeness. Just whatever you feel, you have to say it, even if people don't like you for that, or people actually will love you a lot more. They'll be amazed by your strength with that. And when you're authentic, you have power over others and over yourself. So thank you so much, Aquarius.